Alright guys, what's going on? Are Russian women, and Ukrainian or Belarusian women for that matter, really better than Western women? So I'm a Western European with Russian roots. I do speak Russian fluently, of course. I've lived in Russia for 11 years. My wife is Russian. We've been together for over 10 years. And here is my take. So yes, Russian women are more traditional and more feminine. You can see I've done my homework. Here are a few points I'm gonna explain in this video when it comes to Russian, Ukrainian or Belarusian women, okay? So Russian, Belarusian and Ukrainian women are very similar. It's almost the same culture, okay? There are a few nuances, but they more or less think the same, behave the same, okay? When it comes to Russia, Russia is not really a Slavic country. Russia is a very diverse country. It's more of a Eurasian country. So in Russia, you won't only find, let's say, white women. So when I'm talking about Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian women, I'm talking about Slavic women. Some women in Russia are not Slavic. Some are more Middle Eastern-like, Muslim. Some are Buddhist, Asian. But to simplify, let's talk about Slavic women here, okay? Let me tell you first, Russian, Belarusian or Ukrainian women are not for everyone, okay? They may look like very appealing. I know they are beautiful. They are very feminine. They know how to dress. They like makeup if you're into this, you know. They like to make themselves, very attractive. They are more traditional, more conservative, and so on. And this is all true, okay? I know my mother. I grew up in the Russian way, so I do know the Russian mentality quite well, the Slavic mentality. My wife is Russian, even though she's not Slavic, but I spent a lot of time in Russia, and I've dated Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Slavic Russian women before. And let me tell you, the mentality is different. So you may like, as a Westerner, okay, these women are just how our grand or grandmothers used to be. They are just European, Western European or American traditional women. Not really. In some ways yes, in some ways no. It's another culture, another way of thinking. So it's not because you're fed up with women in your Western country that Russian women will be a fit. Not necessarily, okay? You may not like their mentality, their character. Let me tell you, their character is very strong, okay? It's kind of unstable, sometimes even childish. So not all Russian women are like that, but you should be a strong man. You should have a strong character. You should be a stable person, a person she can rely on because she wants to find in you what she doesn't have in her country and to complete her character, okay? Russian women's character is a bit like that, okay? So there are exceptions, of course. You can always find a very stable Russian woman when it comes to character, but most of them are, have a very strong character and unstable. So that's something you have to know, okay? It's not a culture, and what she will expect from you as a man will be different on what Western women, even traditional right-wing, let's say, conservative Western women will expect from you. So keep that in mind. It's not because they seem like attractive and the right fit that it will be the right fit, okay? It's not for everyone. And here we go with another few points I wanted to talk about. Russian women, Ukrainian women, Belarusian women, they do like stability, okay? And they will look for a man that will provide stability and confidence. That's what you need to have as a man there, okay? Some will say all you need to have is money there. That's not entirely true. That can be true. I'm going to cover this later on, talk about this later. But it's not necessarily true. You have to be a confident man, okay? And a stable person. You have to provide some kind of stability. And that stability comes with your character. That comes with, of course, a little bit of money. Of course, you need money to provide for her stability, to provide some comfort. and you need to be a kind of handyman. You need to be a person who can fix some things. Okay, if you are not a handyman, if you can't fix some things like a car, like things in your house, in your apartments, be a little bit of plumber, electrician, a little bit of a welder, a little bit of a mechanic. You know how to fix things like a let's say a blue collar worker. If you're that kind of guy, okay. If you're not that kind of guy, your money will have to compensate. Okay, you have to take care about her family, and to provide stability, security to her and to your family if you do have kids. And most Russian women want kids. I'm not saying they all have kids. A lot of them don't have kids for financial reasons, instability problems in the country, political problems sometimes, or sometimes difficult to find, a man in Russia. I'm not going to go into details here, but most of them, they want kids. They just sometimes can't, okay? Or it's too difficult to have kids, and it's more, more about, money, or not having a stable life, okay? But that's what you have to know. You have to behave the Russian way. Or even though she's more westernized, she's westernized, you may think, okay, she speaks English, French, German, so she's westernized. Not really. Inside, she will always be Russian, okay? Deep inside, she may speak, foreign languages, but she will be Russian first of all. So never forget it. So even though she makes some efforts to adapt to your culture, more often than not, you will be the person who has to adapt more, okay, as a man. So that's something you should keep in mind, okay? So as I was saying, as a man, you must be a provider and a handyman. So if you like to go Dutch, for example, to split the bill, Russian women are not for you. If you don't feel like, commit to one person and take care of one person, just like, a child, for example, don't date Russian women, because once you're married to a Russian woman, you're a little bit, she will count on you. So if you can't afford to provide for another person other than you, if you are too afraid to have somebody to carry every time, don't date Russian women, okay? Or go for the more westernized, hardworking women in Moscow, St. Petersburg, but don't look for the more traditional, more conservative women, okay? So this, of course, are generalities, okay? No matter where you go in Russia, or no matter where in Ukraine, Belarus, or no matter where you go in the world, women are all different, okay? They have their own characters and nuances, okay? But in general, I'm talking, okay? You will always find counter examples, okay? Other thing, very important, if you are a Western guy, fed up with feminism, wokeism, women with a high body count, not attractive, non-feminine women, and you see Russia, Belarus, or Ukraine as a kind of, ideal place, you tend to idolize Russia. Nowadays, a lot of men online tend to idolize Russian as the, a kind of sort of paradise where everything is perfect, or almost, and all these Russian women, traditional, they are perfect, blah, blah, blah. No, don't idolize them, okay? Among Russian women, there are still a lot of women you should avoid. Some are gold diggers. We hear often, Russian women or Ukrainian women are just after the money. It's not entirely true, but it is true for some. Some don't care about you, they only care about your wallet. And that's true. So don't idealize them either, okay? Some have a very strong character, difficult character to live with, okay? Some have had traumatic, childhoods in the 90s, for example, or even in the early 2000s. And because of that, childhood, they are kind of crazy now. So these are women you should avoid as well. And meet her family. If her family is crazy, if it is a family of alcoholics, of criminals and so on, don't date these women. You want a woman, a Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian woman from a good family, with normal jobs, good educated, traditional people like you want and like she is, okay? You don't want to date, to marry even, or to have children with a a weirdo or a crazy person. Okay, so meet her family as well. Okay, that's very important. You don't want to be in a family of mafiosis. You don't want to be in a family of alcoholics or drug addicts. Okay, you want a stable, normal family. You want her to be from a good family. Okay, she doesn't necessarily have to be rich, but she needs to be a normal person. Okay, not all Russian women are good to date either. So don't idealize it either. Don't take the first that you bump in. You know, if you go to Ukraine, Belarus, or Russia, you will bump into a lot of women there. There are a lot of single women, but not all are good wives or will be good wives. Okay, you want first of all not look for a Russian, Belarusian, or Ukrainian women. You want first of all find a woman. A woman, doesn't matter where she's from, that will fit your character. A woman you will enjoy your time with. A woman that's complementary to you. A woman you can have a vision with. A woman you can have a family with at some point, you know. A woman you feel like you are made for each other and you're gonna spend your entire life with her. You know, that kind of woman we're looking for. You don't want to just find a Russian woman. Okay? You don't want to just find a Ukrainian or a Belarusian woman, you know. You don't just want to pick a Audi instead of a Mercedes or a BMW. You know, I prefer Audi, by the way, by far. But you know what I'm saying? We're not talking about cars. We're talking about humans. And in humans, there are nuances. And she doesn't necessarily have to be Russian, Ukrainian, or Belarusian. She could be Bulgarian. She could be Japanese. She could be Brazilian or Argentinian. If it's the right woman for you. That's the most important, I think, okay? So don't idealize or idolize even Russia. It's not all roses either there, okay? There are a lot of nuances I could be talking about for hours, and maybe I will on this channel. But this is what you have to know. If you have questions about Russian, Belarusian, Ukrainian women, I do know their character quite well, okay? I grew up with a Russian woman at home. I'm now married to a Russian woman. The language I speak the most in my life is Russian. I do meet other Russians here in Europe. Okay, I'm really Russian. It doesn't mean I like the current Russian politics and I like the war. And that's what I'm saying. You know, there are the Russians and the Russian politicians. Okay, they are different thing. But anyway, if you have questions, leave your comment below. Smash the like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. In the description you will find some links. You can book a one-on-one call with me if you want, for example, find a more attractive traditional woman and avoid all the traps that come with all these women. As I was saying, it's not about idealizing these women either, okay? There are some cons, some things you should be aware of. It's another culture, it's another mentality. It takes time for you to get used to it. It was easy for me because I'm used to it, you know. I know how to handle the Russians, you know what I'm saying? I know how to handle these women. But if you are from the Western world and this area is very Eurasia, Eastern Europe is very foreign to you, you'd rather talk about it with somebody who knows this culture and mentality and who has experience in this field, okay? It's on the description. And yeah, leave me your comment, share, subscribe, and we're out. Have a good one.